This is Carita Parks with Bowie TV. It is day 5 of Ravens training camp, also the first day of pads, and it was very clear that the intensity and the competition increased. It was a little chippy out there today between some of the guys, but that's what you want to see. You want to see that instinct kick in when the pads come on. You know, the guys were getting used to having pads on, so it wasn't a big day of highlights, but I will talk about some of the items that stood out to me. First and foremost, the kicking competition. That's going to be the ongoing conversation throughout training camp. Tyler Luke, he had a great week to start camp last week. However, I would say today wasn't as great. He was 4 of 7 on kicks. So he's going to have to learn to be more consistent. And I still feel like no matter what they do in practice, it's going to come down to the preseason and seeing what they're able to do in games. Now let's go over to offense. Lamar Jackson, he connected with his favorite target today, Mark Andrews. But what's really noticeable to me is Mark, he caught the ball. It was a deep pass. The whistle blew and he kept sprinting down the field. I saw him do the same thing in mini camp. So to me, it feels like there is a fire lit under him from that Buffalo drop, and we are seeing it in practices. He is not stopping when he catches the ball, and the fans are loving it. So we'll see how that translates into the season, but you could definitely tell that there's a different level of wanting to prove himself this year. DeAndre Hopkins, he had a really great circus catch in the end zone, but it was called back due to offensive pass interference. Nate Wiggins was on the coverage. That brings me to the fact that there were more penalties today than usual. That is something that Coach Harbaugh wants to work on. That was an Achilles heel for this team last year, so they're going to have to decrease those penalties as training camp continues. Last but not least, on the injury front, we did not see Rashad Bateman out there. He went home sick. Coach Harbaugh confirmed that after practice. Also, cornerback Jair Alexander, he was missing. Turns out that he has some knee swelling, but Coach Harbaugh is hopeful that he'll be back out there tomorrow. Cornerback Bilal Kone, he has a shoulder injury. Also, Coach is hopeful that he'll be back soon. Jalen Armour-Davis, he left practice early today, and Coach Harbaugh confirmed that he will have an MRI. So that's 3 cornerbacks that have something going on. So that position is going to be a position that we'll be watching closely, because they're starting with a lot of depth, but if these minor injuries continue, they may not have that same level of depth. The highlight of this offense going into the season is definitely going to be all the weapons that they have, particularly the wide receivers between Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins. So we did have an opportunity to talk to Zay Flowers after practice, and I asked him what is something that he wanted to focus on this year. Last year he said it was leadership, and he basically said he wants to continue to grow in that area. Zay, at the start of training camp last year, you said that you wanted to step up more as a leader. Do you have any personal goals like that for this training camp, or just building upon that?
I really want to build off that because, every year since I've been here, I had a vet, and the vet kind of took the leadership role, and I've been learning from them. So I just want to take a step towards that, and I'm learning from D-Hop still. I'm learning from Bait too, so it's like I'm still just taking that step as a leader.
After speaking with Flowers, I also spoke to wide receiver coach Greg Lewis, and I got his perspective on how Zay is embracing the leadership role. Zay also said that he wants to continue to grow as a leader, and he mentioned learning from guys like D-Hop and Bate. How have you seen him embrace that role?
Well, he has embraced it. He's become more vocal in meetings, asking questions, and then talking to the other guys, the younger guys. When I'm up there talking about something, he may have another insight, so he'll give them that information and whatnot. So you see him, there's more communication with Zay and being more vocal and being able to talk to the guys, because this is going on his 3rd year in this offense, so he understands the offense now, the nuances he can help some of the younger guys with, and he's done a great job with it, and he's not shying away from being a leader, which I commend him for.
This is Carita Parks with Bowie TV. That has been your Ravens Rundown. Be sure to follow us for all of your Ravens content at Bowie TV Sports.